Shut him, man. Hi. Such a big boy. Hi. Sitting out here working on my big truck really got me thinking today. Have you ever had something in your life that you really liked, that you just really cared for, that you just never really wanted to get rid of because it helps you in a lot of ways? But then, I was thinking about that. But then for some reason, I was thinking about the opposite side of that, of having something in your life that is doing absolutely nothing for you. And it's just damaging you. It's just sabotaging you. It's just destroying you. It's just always in your way that it just, every time you look around, you rethink, you question again. It's just like, it's always there to just keep hindering you, keep slowing you down. I wonder, have you ever had something like that? My name is Mark Anthony DeBose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. Today, it's very interesting because I don't know how I came to have a good understanding of what I was wanting to talk about with this truck, because I really like this truck. I really appreciate this truck. This truck just does a lot for me because it's something to me that's just, it's like a dream come true for me. It's not brand new. It's not the newest or the latest or the best of the best. It doesn't have all the fancy features, but in reality, that's not what I wanted, because my dream was to have an old working farm truck. An old working farm truck to be able to do what I need to do on a farm work of some, I would say, I didn't know I was gonna be doing any kind of work like this, but something in me as a little baby child was saying, I want a truck. And not just a truck, but I want a big truck. And not just a big truck, I want a big diesel truck. Even though not knowing what a diesel truck was back in the days when I was a baby kid, but I just knew what the sound was like. That I was like, I really want the sound. And it really got me thinking today about a passage that came to me in the book of Romans in the 13th chapter of the 9th verse. It's talking about the commandments. It's talking about the commandments and things that we should do, and do not commit adultery, don't murder, don't steal, don't covet. But the main thing he talks about, it sums it all up, it says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love does no harm to a neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law. Now, it really just puts a lot of thought in me, because thinking about this truck and thinking about my life and the progressions of things I've been doing on a day-to-day basis, just kind of, I didn't understand what that meant before. I would always say to myself, I hate myself. I don't like myself. I can't stand myself. I just don't even like looking at myself. I can't deal with myself. I don't know what to do with myself. I used to say that to myself all the time. I used to just look in the mirror and just like, who the heck is that? Like, I don't know who that is. What's going on with that? I can't stand looking at that. I can't stand that, just being here and just looking at this and knowing that you're still there. I used to just be so frustrated at myself, and it just really confused me a lot in the fact of how is it that I could read something like this as a younger child, to have a good understanding of I'm supposed to love you the way that I love myself, but I didn't love myself. So how was that a possibility? And I feel like we're running into a very serious situation in life today, where not just my own life, but in other people's lives that I see going on around me, that I didn't have a real good, true understanding of what this, say, love was, until I really had a good heart, good, just deep down, real good understanding of realizing something I was thinking about the other day is, like, I had a very good upbringing. Like, I had two parents that really loved me. I had two parents that really took really good care of me. I had two parents that were always there for me. I had two parents that were just dedicated to make sure that I was going to be able to succeed better than they were ever able to succeed. And something in me just was thinking for a long time that I just didn't like myself, because for some reason I felt like I was just in a bad situation growing up in a bad way. And I feel like I didn't quite understand who I was until I started to get a good understanding of this Bible, and realizing that, honor your mother and father, and praise your parents, and have a good understanding of everything that they've done is the best that they could have done, and knowing that they did what they did, that it really let me understand to see the greatness and what it is that they did. And then once I started to understand the greatness and what they were able to do for me, like, for instance, just being consistent and always just what you say is what you do. Something that I just feel like I really learned from both of my parents, not just my dad and not just my mom, but both as a combined together. That they were just absolutely amazing with what they did. That's when I feel like I was able to finally be able to say love myself. I was finally able to have a good understanding of who I am and what I'm capable of, and what it is that I'm doing out here. That until I started to really say respect my parents, until I started to really just start to have a good, very good high regard for my parents, was the day that I decided that, you know what? I do like myself. I do love myself. I do see the value of what it is that I have out here, and I do see the value of what it is that I'm able to do out here. And I feel like a lot of us are running into a situation today where we just don't really care for the people that raised us. We just don't care for who they are and what they've done and what they've been able to do, and the sacrifices that they've had to make, and just everything around that. That some of us just feel extremely ungrateful for the fact that you are alive, that you are here. that's just an absolute miracle, that someone, somewhere, sometime had to do something to make sure that you were able to get to this point. Especially if you're a person of the age of like 25 years old right now watching this video, like somehow your parents have been able to get you to a point. And if it wasn't your parents have been able to at least successfully get you, have been able to at least successfully get you to be able to be in the care of someone, to be able to get you to the point of being 25 years old. And that's something that should just be praised beyond the most high, most uplifting way that you could possibly have a good understanding. And that's something in me that once I knew that and had a good understanding of that was when I was able to love myself, appreciate myself, care for myself, just have more self-respect. And having more self-respect and being able to make sure that I'm able to put out that self-respect to other people and not put out a whole bunch of danger, put out a whole bunch of agony, put out a whole bunch of strife, put out a whole bunch of just misleading things, and put out a whole bunch of just evil intentions on people is what I feel like I really want to say. That I feel like until I really start to have a good understanding of myself and the upbringing that I had and the reasons on why I'm here and how I've been able to get here and the sacrifices that a lot of people had to make to be able to make sure that I got here, I've finally been able to have a good understanding of how to be able to make sure that the person next to me is able to have and being able to do what it is that I'm able to do. I feel like a lot of us are struggling today. A lot of us feel as if, our parents are just nothing. They're nobody. They don't know anything. They're not smart. They're stupid. They're behind the times. They don't get it. They don't understand. Where I will say that may be true with some stuff. But when it comes to life, they know a lot more about life than you ever will because you haven't been quite where they're at right now. And if it's a very unfortunate circumstance that you have been able to outlive to the day and the year that your parents have been able to live, I will still say they lived in a day, they lived in a time, they lived in an era that you have no idea about. You had no idea what was going on. You had no idea the problems that were happening. You had no idea what was happening on their day-to-day life, that you do not have a good understanding of what it is that they've had to sacrifice to be able to make sure that you were able to be where you are right now. That they had to go through and deal with a lot of things of their own self that was very, very challenging, very, very struggling, that they're never going to be perfect and no one's ever going to be perfect. And I just really got it inside of me to just have a good understanding of knowing that my parents just aren't perfect. And for me, I kind of, in reality, felt like they should have been. I felt like they should have never yelled at me. They should have never disciplined me. They should have never told me no. They should have just let me eat all the candy I want. They should have just let me do as I please when I want. They should have let me talk to whoever it is that I wanted to talk to. But I come to realize the older and older I get that everything that they did for me was very, very nice, very loving. Loving in such a way that I feel like that's still a word that a lot of people just do not have a good understanding of knowing what loving is. Love is not just giving you candy and just telling you you're good to go. Love is making sure that you're headed in the right direction, on doing the right stuff, being able to take care of yourself, being able to be self-sufficient, being able to make sure that you're able to get stuff done on this planet. All by yourself, not needing somebody else and having to always desire something else and feeling as if you're always lacking and feeling as if you're never able to get anything done. And that's something that I feel like a lot of us just really get frustrated with ourselves and not able to actually say, grow up and do some stuff on this planet, because we're constantly sitting here thinking about what it is that our parents did to us and what it is my brother did to me, what it is my sister did to me, what it is my grandma did to me, what it is my great-grandma did to me, what it is my cousin did to me. And it's like, who cares? Do you think that they were perfect? Do you think that you're perfect based on what it is that's going on in this life? You're not perfect, so why would you put the expectations on thinking that they should be perfect? I don't know why I feel like I want to talk about parents and families and siblings and everything today, because I just feel like something in me is just knowing that a lot of people on this planet are struggling. You're struggling because you just do not have a good idea of a sense of self. And I feel like that sense of self really just starts to come out and starts to manifest when you start to have a good idea and a good understanding that your parents and or whoever it is that raised you did all that they could possibly do to be able to get you to be where you are right now. That I'm telling you, you could not have done it by yourself. You could not have made it happen by yourself. You could not have forced your way in to be where you are right now just all alone. And for a lot of us, we sit here and think that. We think that, oh, I could do it on my own. I don't need no help. I can make everything happen and I don't need anybody to do anything for me. I'm telling you, that is 100% false. Because you had to get here from the help and the gracious help of God, of the gracious help of the people that He put into your place to be able to make sure that you're able to get to the place that you're at right now. That you've had the luxury and that's the best word to say. You had the luxury of being able to make sure that you can get to the place that you are right now. And that's something that I feel like a lot of us we abuse is, I guess, the word that I want to use with that we abuse the fact that we think that we could do it all on our own, and we think that we don't need no help from anybody. And we think that I don't have to rely on anybody to make sure that I can move forward, that I'm just fine. I can sacrifice and be all myself. And I'm just going to say that that's going to be a very, very lonely, very, very frustrating, very, very damaging life that you're about to lead with that mindset. because that's not how you're able to get where you were able to get. Even if you felt like you were neglected, even if you're like, oh no, my parents didn't do nothing for me. They just locked me in a closet and they beat me and they yelled at me and they made me fight and they did this to me. And it's like, give me a second and let me say to you that they didn't do that on a, say, wanting to do that. They did that because they didn't know what to do in reality. And that's something that I feel like a lot of y'all just really, really struggle and really, really get challenged with thinking that somebody just did something so malicious to you just because they're evil or just because of this. And I'm just gonna say it's no. They just didn't know. And when you can't hate on somebody, you can't hurt someone for just not knowing. And if they don't know, what is it that you're gonna do? Because again, you think that you're so perfect on being able to do what it is that you do. You think you're just so perfect on being able to move forward, that you think that you're just so perfect that you would never ever have a flaw in you. And you think you're just so perfect that you would never ever damage anybody. You think that you're so perfect that you just know how to do it all so right. And I'm saying that's why I think that a lot of us are just, say, by ourselves. A lot of us are struggling with not knowing how to be able to be in great continuing relationships because we think that we could just do it all by ourselves. Stop that concept of life that you think you can do it by yourself, because that is only just going to set you up for absolute failure. You're a 25-year-old dude right now on this planet living thinking that you could just, you can manhandle it and you can make it work and I've been on my own and I could do this. And I'm just going to say to you, you're living a very, very challenging life right now. If you're a 35-year-old man, that's just the same thing. If you're a 35-year-old girl thinking that, you're headed down a very, very challenging, very, very challenging path of life. Because I'm telling you, the people out here, they need your help and you need their help. And it's not for you to come out here just to say that I just know how to do it and I know how to make it and I know how to get stuff done. It's for the world in reality to be able to help you to be able to get done what it is that you need to get done the way that it's always been doing that since the day that you were born. Since the day before you were born in reality, actually, that a lot of stuff had to happen. A lot of miracles had to happen. A lot of just absolute spiritual greatness had to happen for you to be able to even have the chance to even be able to be here. And that's something that you should just really, really be greatly appreciative. And I don't know what it is in me, but I know that a lot of people are struggling today because you just don't trust anything. You don't trust even yourself. And you don't trust yourself because you don't have a good understanding of knowing that something loves you more than you can love yourself. And then once you have a good understanding of knowing that, once you have a good understanding of knowing that something loves you more than you love yourself, that's how you're able to, I feel like, really just upgrade and escalate and really have a great, fantastic life on this planet. Because you're always struggling. Hey, Oriole, I got one arm and one dog already. Let's get down. And the more you're just struggling, because the more that you're just rejecting everything around you, the more that you're just saying to yourself that I don't need this and I don't need that, and the more that I'm telling you, you're just going to keep on struggling. You're going to keep on struggling because there is something out here that loves you more than you love yourself. And then once you have a good understanding of knowing that that is something like God that's there that loves you more than you, then you're going to finally be able to love yourself. Then you're going to finally be able to move on and be able to have a better experience on this life with knowing that now I can see who I am. Now I can have a good understanding of knowing who I am. Now I can see the greatness behind everything now I can see the greatness of everything that's going on everything that's behind me and everything that's moving forward in my life, that I just feel like it's just, I don't know, it's just such an absolute blessing to realize that it's an absolute miracle to be able to be to the place and be able to do the things, be able to experience what it is that I'm experiencing. And it's just absolutely amazing. I don't get it, people. I don't get how I used to think. I don't get how I used to be, because I just know that once you have a good understanding of opening up and having a good self-realization, that you're going to just start to upgrade and start to have a better life on this planet. And a better life being that you're going to want to start worrying about helping other people. Because I feel like that's one of the greatest things in me that's come to me this past year of doing what I'm doing, reading my Bible some more, trying to pray some more, not trying to, but actually doing to, and doing and going to the places and talking to the way that I'm talking to people and changing everything that I do and changing how I even dress and changing how I do everything in my life, that I just come to realize that I just want to help out more people on this planet. And I feel like the reason behind that is because I want to show other people how great God really is and how great he actually truly is able to bring to us, and how he's able to do better things for us, how he's able to provide better things for us, and how he's been able to provide that for me. And he's been able to provide me with a whole different level of mind understanding to be able to move forward on this planet, with being able to make sure that I'm no longer stressing about things that I feel like I used to stress about, that I'm no longer looking in the mirror and feeling as if I don't know who that is and I don't know what's going on with that. That today I have a very good understanding of knowing who it is that looks in the mirror back at myself, and that just makes me want to be able to help out more people to make sure that you're able to have that same sense. And I feel like that all started with me, with having a good understanding of knowing that my parents are awesome. My parents did a lot of things for me that I just can never really in reality give back. They lived in some times, they lived in some hard times. They had to deal with some hard things. They dealt with a lot of challenging stuff in their life. But that's something that we all have to do that. We all have to go through that. And it's not for anyone to sit there and damn and damage and saying that they were wrong, and they didn't do this and they didn't that they did with the best that they absolutely could with the knowledge and with the understanding and with all the drama that they had to live through and go through themselves in their life. That there's no such thing as perfect. And I feel like today I have a good understanding of knowing that some people just don't want to have kids. And I feel like that's a very unfortunate thing. But I feel like I understand it when you just think that you're going to say mess them up, that you're going to do something wrong to them, where that's not the case at all. You're going to do what you got to do. And what's going to happen to them is what's going to happen to them. That what happens to me in a way that I just happen to have both my parents there always with me. And it's just, say, unfortunate thing for my children that they don't have their dad around, that they have to live a different type of life, that they have to live a different type of struggle. And it's for each of us and all of us to be able to live our own type of struggle that we can't pre-plan it, we can't figure it out. We can only just go with, say, the flow to figure out what's going to happen next. And with that, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for the opportunity to be able to be out here, to be able to sit on my big truck. This is I'd probably say my favorite vehicle of all vehicles I think I've ever purchased in my life, because it's just like a dream come true to me. It's old. It's always running. It's always got a little issue, but it's always moving. It sounds awesome. It could pull anything that I feel like I want to pull. It could dang near pull a house if I want to pull it. It's just the coolest thing. It's something that just really brings a smile out and brings a smile into me, just thinking about old times and old days of growing up and doing what it is that I do and having those dreams and ambitions of being able to do more and have more and be more on this planet. That it's just something that I feel like a lot of us should really have in our lives and continue to keep in our lives. Things that we just really remember as a child that we wanted. Things that we thought was like, oh, that's going to make me happy. And it actually does make you happy. And things that just are there that you just kind of never want to let go. Old memories that you just want to have. That maybe you don't even need a truck like this to be able to do some work, but you just wanted one. And I would just say, just get one. Why not just have some things that you just want because you know it's going to be able to satisfy you. It's going to be able to do something for you, to be able to, every time you look at it, just be super excited, super inspired to want to do something else and do something more. So for me, I just greatly appreciate everything that I have, and I'm extremely grateful for everything that keeps on coming to me. And especially just certain things and certain ways and certain people that come to me today that I used to want more stuff and want more things, that I've come to realize just wanting to be able to help someone else out more has been the thing that's been really able to just please me, been able to really just upgrade my life to being absolutely great on this planet. Because just buying more stuff, like even talking about buying a truck is cool and all, but it's being able to help somebody. And me being able to help somebody with a vehicle like this is probably the main thing that I feel like I greatly appreciate the most. And being able to help another person when they're in a very, very sticky, struggling situation is something that I feel like has really been able to upgrade my life into a different way that I think I've never been able to be to. Because I finally have been able to open myself up, relax myself, and get my skill set that I know, the skill set that I have inside of me that I'm capable of using and utilizing to be able to help these people out. That you're struggling. Some people are struggling. Some people are hurting out here. And it may be something simple that someone can help you out with, but it may be something very, very major that you need to reach out and even say, pay someone to be able to help you out, to be able to fix that. Sometimes that's just the way it is. And I'm glad to be able to be a person in a position to be able to look at you struggling in a little bit of a way and being able to help you out with something. And I'm just so thankful. And I wonder, how many of y'all out there just really want to have a change of heart, change a way to look at life? And I tell you, right up front, just change how it is that you think about who it is that raised you and who it is that you grew up with. Change the whole idea of all the, say, negative things that you thought that they brought to you. Start to look at all the great things that came to you. Start to remember all the great meals that you had. Start to remember all the great movies that you watched. Start to remember all the good times that you had running, playing, and smiling and doing what it is you're doing. Get away from all the damaging things, because we could focus on the damaging things all we want, but I'm telling you, it's not going to get you anywhere. Focus on the things that were absolutely a blessing to you, the things that you would say, I want to do that again. And then actually do that again. Go out and recreate that and make that happen again. That's something that I just feel like I want to challenge everybody. Stop thinking about all the bad stuff. Look at all the great things that happen, because I promise you, you couldn't possibly just had all bad things all day, every day. It's impossible. And if you think that, I'm telling you, you're so negative that you need to pray a little bit more and think about all the great stuff that came to you. Thank you.